Warning, we are a spoilers podcast. At times we are also an offensive podcast. And we are most certainly a verbally explicit podcast. So if you fear for any of your delicate sensibilities, please back up now before you reach the point of no return. Alright, pussies, this is your final warning.
Hello, welcome back to Cinematic Anarchy. You guys are in for a good fucking episode this week. Alright, so we got Chris here and me.
El Jefe, hello?
Yes, Omar and Zeph are missing in action again.
Oh, no, they're not missing. We know where they are. They're just not here.
Yeah, pretty much.
We've since drank the bottle of Poland Springs from last episode. So, sitting in for Mr. Zeph, we have a statue of the Grim Reaper. And we had a nice fuzzy velvet black skull that we had sitting in for Mr. Omar that is rolled under the couch.
Yep.
And I'm just not going down there today.
It's been lost into the oblivion.
Whatever's stuck to his head is stuck to his head. And we also have in the room, who might pipe in during the Tea with Honey.
Tea Time with Honey.
Yes, Tea Time with Honey portion of our podcast, Mr. Alex.
Hello.
Oh, we actually heard you this time.
Yeah!
It's because I'm loud.
Project!
See, if you project it, they will hear. And we are also live on Facebook and TikTok, but, of course, whoever's listening to this in podcast form, well, they're not going to be able to access the TikTok portion anyway,
yeah, that's
but
fine.
We usually save the video for our podcast on
If you are
Facebook.
on TikTok, tune in to Tea Time with Honey.
Right, yes, definitely. Tune
Yes.
into Tea Time with Honey, and if you are on TikTok, come follow us over on Facebook, you know.
Yeah,
so,
Cinematic Anarchy.
So you over here on Facebook, follow us on TikTok, and on TikTok, follow us on Facebook. And
do the thing!
we are looking at getting a Kickstarter campaign started nearing the end of November, so that we can afford to season 2.
Yeah.
Because let's just be honest, the advertisement budget and the equipment and all of our time in general, it costs.
It does.
You know, and
time is money.
to be able to
Money
have
is
a little
pizza.
bit of...
Pizza is power.
Where is that from?
I don't even... I think it... Was it Parks and Rec?
It's possible.
I don't remember.
I remember it just vaguely. Okay. So just before we get into the first part of our podcast today, we're going to go ahead and just sort of discuss what we might have been watching this week. I actually had the chance to go out and watch an interesting movie the other day in the theaters with Alex and a friend of his, and my wife. Ooh, don't want to forget that. We went out and saw the horror film Countdown.
Okay.
Which is an interesting movie. It was a film about an app that basically gives you the exact time that you die.
Yeah, I've seen like commercials for it. I kind of want to see it, but like not enough to go to the theaters and pay to see it.
It's a legitimate app for your phone. Like, you can go and download this app. I think the app came first, and then they made a movie about the app, and that kind of ramped up downloads of that app. I'm like, if you watched the movie, why would you download the stupid app?
To find out when you're gonna die. I mean, I know it's a game.
I'm not a superstitious fucker by any stretch in the imagination, but to be honest with you, I'm not poking the bear. I'm not. I don't want to know when I'm going to die.
I don't give a shit.
Even if it's fake. I don't want to have that paranoia in my head like, oh shit, I need to get some stuff done.
Yeah.
You know, you've got 6 days to die.
I don't give a shit. I don't believe in any of that shit, so whatever.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I believe a little too much. I'll be honest. So I've got superstitions that get in my way on occasion.
Yeah. I think I've got like one superstition, and
Alex is just showing us the app.
I follow through with it. Like, I'm never gonna get a name tattooed on me unless it's a child or a deceased friend.
Oh, that actually reminds me. I do need to get a date tattooed on my forearm for the passing of a friend of mine, Charlie.
All right, I got you.
Little itty bitty tattoo, but still. Good friend of ours, and anybody that watches this on Facebook, most of the people that I personally know, the ones that I didn't just kind of randomly throw invites out to, they know Chuck.
Yeah.
Chuck was a big, I don't want to say big guy. He wasn't big. I said he had a lot of friends, and everybody knew him.
Social butterfly.
Well, he was one of those guys that he was just friends to everybody, and he just kind of... He just fell apart one year. Just all this stuff kind of fell on him at the same time. A girlfriend that he had been with for a long time, they broke up, and he ended up moving out into the middle of nowhere, and I think just a lot of emotional distress, and just it all just kind of compounded, and one day he took his own life. So let's start the podcast in the most depressing way humanly possible.
Oh my God.
Good job, Chris.
Good job.
Oh, fuck. Wow. All right. Let's get some levity here. What have you watched this week?
Well, I've been mostly watching fucking Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay. Good show.
just as background noise for playing Mario Kart. But I rewatched the new It movie, the first chapter. I went to go watch the second chapter. They have it on Amazon Prime, but it's not available to rent or buy yet.
It's just pre-order.
I'm like, God damn it! The only reason I watched this movie again was so I could watch the second movie with it and fucking...
Did you already buy the pre-order?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait until it actually comes out.
Okay. Do you know what the date is?
Nope.
Because I'm actually really interested in seeing that too.
I saw fucking pre-order and I'm like, you know what? Fuck this shit. Went back to Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I don't give a shit.
All that anticipation just to hit a wall.
Honestly, fucking Christ.
I'm actually watching. I have to go watch The Shining because next Friday, Dr. Sleep comes out.
Oh my God!
And I'm about 50-50 here. Just after watching the trailer to Dr. Sleep, I'm either really loving this or this is going to be a cheesy bunch of bullshit.
Yeah. I haven't even seen the trailer yet, but I went to this lecture that Stephen King did over at Harvard University with Winter's father, and the entire time he kept stopping the lecture to talk about the fucking Red Sox game that was going on like a fucking douchebag. But
he's a big Red Sox fan.
Oh, I know.
Big.
But we paid to go. Well, I didn't pay. His mother paid, but people paid to go to this lecture to talk about the fucking book. I want to talk about the book, not the goddamn game. But we got first edition copies of Dr. Sleep. I never even read it. I ended up fucking gifting it to my brother for Christmas that year.
Well, now your brother has the first edition copy.
Exactly.
Maybe you can ask for it back at some point. Hey, I'd like to read that.
Yeah, right?
All right, so let's go ahead and slide into Christopher Titus's special... Okay, wait, hold on a minute. I think I said that wrong. I do not want to slide into Christopher Titus's unit.
Oh my God!
We are going to discuss the film by Christopher Titus, Special Unit. Now that I've gotten the wording
there you go.
A little bit more properly, my English is not on par today. Even the caffeine's not waking the old brain up.
This movie was fucking terrible.
He
tried. He really honestly tried to make a decent movie that was all-inclusive of differently abled folks, and it was just a complete fucking miss. He fucking failed at this so hard. I get what you're trying to do there, buddy, but you're beating a dead horse.
Okay. I'm glad we actually have a movie that we can disagree on for once.
Yeah, right?
Because I don't feel that way. I mean, personally, I don't feel that way. And I think it's just coming from an area where I know his comedy styling. I kind of knew what to expect when I went into it.
Yeah.
He kind of has a no apologies style to...
Yeah.
He has his own political views. It's kind of what I'm trying to get at. And in all honesty, I watch a fuck ton of bad movies. I mean, honestly, a ton of bad movies. And I have a scale. A 1 to 10 scale on how bad I think a bad movie is. We have one where I watched the movie and I will never fucking pick that shit up again. And there are a handful that we...
One for me is I started at the movie and in the first 10 minutes I had to change it. I can't fucking finish watching this shit.
I am such a movie geek that I cannot turn off a movie without having watched the whole thing.
I almost turned off Romeo and Juliet after the first 10 minutes.
You would have been justified.
I would have been. I would have come to this cast and been so I fucking turned off this movie. What the fuck, guys?
I think that had we not been doing a podcast about it, you probably would have turned it off. I mean, had we not been doing a podcast about it, I probably would have turned it off. The first that there was going to be incest involved in the storyline, I was just like, I should have... Did I say incest? Incest, my apologies.
Incest. Yes.
Involved in the storyline. I really feel like I should have turned it off. I was watching in the company of a good male friend who since has become very distant.
That's probably why. We can't look at you the same ever again.
We even did a buffer recently, and I realized that this movie traumatized us so much, I think we talk about it at least once a podcast.
At least once, right? Like, it's so bad.
So it's like a shining endorsement of how Troma is. That movie right there is like everything that Troma truly is. It's really, they're one of those companies that just kind of, they don't apologize about anything. They set out from the get-go to make the most offensive material humanly possible. Something you're never going to forget. And I'll tell you, I'm not going to forget that damn movie.
Never going to forget it.
Not for a good reason either.
No.
It's all bad.
It's so bad. If you ever recommend some Troma shit again, I'm not going to be part of this one. I will
pre-watch the Troma stuff. Like, I can recommend, like, some of the some of the Troma movies, like Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
I think Tromeo and Juliet was more recent.
It was so bad.
It was after the year 2000.
It was so bad.
Anything pre-year 2000, they still were a popular enough company that they didn't have to pull certain things out of their bag. Like, they could still make offensive material without being so offensive that they needed to generate that kind of interest again. Because as a company, after the late 90s, they weren't really making things that people were actually watching.
Yeah.
So, of course, you're going to make something that's so offensive, people are going to be like, you have to see this to believe what the hell I just watched. That's how they're passing on the word of mouth now, is just being as offensive as humanly possible.
Yeah.
You could watch, like, Death by Temptation was a Troma film.
Okay.
And that was actually a pretty good, bad film, one of Samuel L. Jackson's first. That was a pretty good, bad film.
Yeah.
And see, we're avoiding talking about Special Unit right now.
We are.
We're
avoiding the topic of today's cast.
Okay. So talking about my scale for bad movies, we got a 1 to 10. 1 being I'm never going to pick this up again. 10 being I could possibly watch this again. It was bad, but it wasn't so bad that I couldn't see.
I'm gonna have to give it a 2.
I'm hovering right in the middle. It's 5. It's not so bad that I wouldn't pick it up again because this is the second time.
I would never watch this movie again willingly.
Okay, hey,
I would not.
Fine.
Nope.
That's fine. There was actually more movies on the list that I think you would have watched.
The fucking, just, the flat-out degradation is just disgusting. Like, I can't fucking sit through this movie.
I think the only thing that
I have a lot of special needs friends. I've got special needs family. I fucking could not sit through it and watch it comfortably. The best part about this movie was Alvin.
Yes, I would have to agree. And I think the only thing that really made the humor in the film acceptable was the fact that this was a genuinely handicapped group of people that got together to make a film that kind of... there was supposed to be a positive message there, I get that. I think
completely missed it.
I think the douchebaggery of Titus's character dragged it down a little bit. Like,
a little bit?
He could have reeled in the douchebaggery a little bit. Like,
a little bit? Every other word out of his fucking mouth was retard. Like...
No, it wasn't retard.
Or wobblies.
He said that maybe once or twice.
No, he said
but
it
he
like
kept referring to them as like wobblies,
first...
or he went through a couple of different things.
He said it like 12 times upon finding out that he was going to be teaching this special unit.
Like, you remember the opening words of the movie.
Yeah.
Who are the mentally retarded? Or no, it didn't even mentally, just who are the retarded? And it was like, uh-oh.
It's gonna be one of those fucking movies. Alright, whatever. Well, at least this is some fucking talking points.
Dig in, grab a drink, and prepare. For me, it's grab a drink. Other people may have had to use other things to de-stress from that.
I am currently broke as a joke and could not get myself more drinks.
This is why honestly...
I watched this on Friday, so I did have booze on me. It was terrible!
We got to actually get together and like watch these films occasionally, like
Yeah,
just
right?
as a group, just watch them and then do the podcast. Because I feel like some of these things would be better to have like fresher in our minds, like because like especially with a movie like this, when you watch it and then your memory says, "Look, dude, we don't have enough room for this. We got to start pushing some stuff out. Do you really want to keep this up there?" And you're like, "Yeah, no, it's okay. You can go ahead and just go about your business, push out whatever you have to."
Oh my god. I
Alvin
did not like this movie at all.
Alvin was spectacular in the film.
Oh,
I really did
absolutely.
appreciate him. I liked the captain. I like the asshole captain. I liked. Do you know how fucking hard it is to find a Pinocchio? Talking about his therapist told him to go out and collect figurines to help
Yeah.
him de-stress. And
Just to smash them.
no, it wasn't just to smash them.
Well, he got them so he could smash them.
That's what he took out of it. It's like, yeah, he goes, now I get them just specifically to smash them. And when he first introduced that figurine idea, Christopher Titus is sitting there, you know, as the douchebag LA detective, and he gets up to pick up one and just toss it against the wall. He's like, no, that's mine. I do this. You don't do that. And he puts it back down. The one that he decided to pick up was a guy in a wheelchair. Right, they close-upped on that thing.
Yep.
So this guy is he plays a dirty cop who is basically taking bribes from local gangs, so on and so forth, to let them do their business, basically protection money from the cops.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah.
So he's a dirty cop, a cop that shot his own partner.
He's driving drunk to his cop job.
Right. A drunk driver. He is like every horrible trait that any human being could be in this movie.
It's every horrible cop stereotype.
It's not even just that. It's not even cop stereotypes. Like, as a human being in this movie, he just played like the most deplorable person humanly possible.
Yep.
And I think the problem with it is that even when you get to the end of the movie, if you have a protagonist that is just so unlikable that even when you try to present sort of like a reckoning for him, something that's supposed to basically change his mind, change his views on the world, if you don't give enough...
the end of the movie where he's like trying to protect his team and be like, these are my team, this is my team, this is my special unit, these are real cops. I fucking hated him. He's such a piece of shit in the movie.
I liked Morgan.
Yeah.
Morgan was good. I liked when he shot Titus in the ear. That was fun. He goes, "You shot me in the fucking ear." I told you to get me a knife.
And then he fucking stabs him in the back.
Oh, yes, I love that. You thought that was just going to be that one redeeming moment for him, and he tosses the knife and gets him right in the back, right by the neck.
This guy shouldn't have weapons.
No, not at all. He's got a brilliant deductive reason,
absolutely.
Brilliant mind. You know, he'd make a great detective just for that. Just do not arm the guy.
No.
Don't even give him mace. No. And the love scene between him and what was it, Sophie?
Yeah.
It's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Not that
like,
anything up until the
idea
point.
of it was uncomfortable. It's just the scene itself.
I don't think the scene itself. It was the ending to the scene, which obviously was one of Titus's dreams in the movie. But when he fell over and there's just this
Giant
shadow
shadow of his dick.
Yes, and he's like, "That's why I walk this way." And it's like,
oh my god.
okay. They took every way they approached every single punchline that they could with offensive material.
Yep.
So that's why I rated it like a 5. Like, I watched this. This is my second time watching this movie. I recommended a couple of things in the list because, Omar wanted some light affair. He was supposed to watch this with us. He did not.
He did not.
He is, I believe, at home puking his guts up right now from what he told me last night. I think he has the flu.
Probably. Get a shot.
So we are sorry that you're not here, Mr. Omar, and I know where Mr. Zeph is. He did not watch the movie, and he is doing a double shift.
Fun.
So, again, we're avoiding talking about the movie.
We are. It was a terrible movie.
Basically, the film is very cut and dry. It's one point they drive it home all the way through, and I think they could have shortened the movie by about 15 minutes and still had a decent movie. Like, made it like an hour long, maybe.
Like I said earlier, like, I would have understood how this had such, like...
Well, not an hour, but an hour and 30 minutes.
I would have understood if this had, like, the level of quote-unquote comedy this was trying to have. I would have understood if it was made in, like, the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, like I said earlier. But this was made in fucking 2017. Come the fuck on, man!
I think the only problem that I had with the movie, the biggest problem anyway, not the only problem, the biggest problem, was the fact that all of the characters were decidedly unlikable.
Yeah.
Outside of maybe Alvin, which even still, the pooping thing was a little...
Yeah, I'm gonna poop on you.
I mean, I couldn't like the mayor. I couldn't like the mayor's assistant much at all. I really couldn't like any of the folks for the special unit. Really couldn't like Titus's character that much. I couldn't like the captain all that much. It was just everybody... It was...
horribly fucking written.
I don't know. I don't think it was horribly written. I know the point that they were trying to get across. It was the fact that they decided to...
The execution.
It was the execution. There was definitely a good point that they were trying to make with the movie. All right? I'm with the point that they were trying to make and what they were trying to get across. It was just that... The
inclusion of differently abled folks in film.
Right.
But, like, that's what Titus was trying to get at.
In society in general. You know,
he could have gone about it so fucking differently, and it would have been a hit. It would have been successful, but he fucked it up so bad. It was
that they made every single character just decidedly unlikable.
Yeah,
and that's what I had a tough time with. If they had even tried a little harder to make some of the characters a little likable, like that would have been beautiful. But it's like everybody kind of had that little bit of douchebag in them. And I hate to say that about, but it's just the way that the movie was.
Yeah.
So
even fucking my boyfriend Fredo has like a darker sense of humor than I do, and he was over here like, this movie is a piece of shit. And like I told him what year it was made, and he's like, what the fuck, man?
2017.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
So, good swing, Mr. Titus. I would appreciate if you...
You tried, you missed, try something else.
It wasn't a big screen movie. I mean, This is direct video on demand. This wasn't a Blu-ray, DVD release. It was literally just, it went to Amazon, it went to streaming services. So, we're not really trying to make something that we're going to make hundreds of millions of dollars off of. We're trying to make something here that gets a point across, and I think that they could have worked a little harder to get the point across.
They could have.
Especially if you're going to invest an hour and 42 minutes in a movie.
Oh, God.
You know.
Time I will never receive back.
My apologies. Well, at least you got to have a few drinks.
It's not your fault, it's fucking Omar's.
I gave him a list, he chose that. So that was what we did.
God damn it.
Omar gets November. Hey, Omar, if you're going to get November, be here for it. That's all I got to say. You're going to make us watch Special Unit.
Be here for it.
Be here to discuss the unit.
Just don't get us sick.
So, again, I give it like a 5 out of 10 on my scale, like, which is about what IMDb rated it, to be honest.
I'm going to stick with a solid 2.
This is 5 out of 10 on, like, 5.8 out of 10 on how well it was received in regards to all movies.
Yeah.
Right there in the middle of the road. You give it a 2. You're the one that brought the rating down.
Yeah, I give it a solid 2.
I stay comfortable. And mind you, there's not a lot of movies that deviate too far from the mid-range. Not a lot of ones we've watched anyway. With the exception of Romeo and Juliet, which, I'm sorry.
God damn!
It is the only one that I've ever watched.
It's so bad.
I have watched some movies by Troma that, but for all... It was literally done on a camcorder, a couple movies that I've watched for Troma, and I'll watch that again before I'll watch that. And there's more star power in Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
I recognize people from that movie. So.
Man.
Oh, well. Okay, so I believe that is all the time we have for Special Unit this morning.
Yeah.
Of Christopher Titus, my favorite comedian. Honestly, literally, like, my favorite comedian.
He's for me, he seems like similar to Bill Burr.
Okay. Have you listened to any of his stand-up yet?
Nope, just this.
I recommend.
I'm getting a very like Bill Burr vibe from this guy from this movie.
Do not judge Christopher Titus's comedic abilities on this movie. Trust me. Okay. This, like I said, this was disappointing as far as I'm concerned. I watched his TV show. I've watched all of his specials. I've listened to his podcast religiously since it started. And in all honesty, this for me it hurt to watch because he is like my favorite comedian.
It was really bad.
So nothing against you, Mr. Titus. You're a fantastic comedian. I love almost everything you do.
I'm gonna have to put this one against you. This is bad.
Again, like I said, almost everything. I now can say that because I used to be able to say I love everything you do. Now it's almost. So he's a very politically minded comedian. And he's very much about his own. I don't want to call it white trash beginnings. I want to say he had a lot of rough stuff. So something you expect out of like white middle class males.
Yeah.
You know, kind of the stupid shit they do when they're younger in their teenage years. He remembers being an alcoholic when he was younger, and then breaking himself of that habit because he drank so much that he fell into a bonfire.
Okay.
The fact that he can still walk around after falling into a bonfire, congratulations. You survived something you probably shouldn't have. Like, it's one thing to get set on fire. Fall into a bonfire, that's something else.
Big oof.
Hey, you can grow hair still. That's great.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a quick break to let our sponsors, or us, talk for our sponsors, and when we come back, it is going to be
motherfucking Tea Time with Høney!
Tea Time with Høney. All right.
Dog never barks, and he was barking at himself in the mirror earlier. It's just the cutest fucking thing. He got jealous because he thought the other dog was getting attention from Fredo.
Okay, and we are back.
We are.
I started recording when you started talking about your dog.
I noticed that.
It's going to come in randomly, but whatever. We are Cinematic Anarchy, and we do not edit anything.
Nope.
No. That is one of our things, is we do not like to edit. We feel that all the natural shit should stay there, and if we say something offensive, well, you know what? Let the shit fall where it may. And it'll give you something to yell at us about, and interact a little bit more. And again, everybody that's watching us on Facebook, please follow Miss Honeybee over on TikTok. What's your at there?
Tea Time with Høney.
Tea Time with Høney on TikTok. And if you're on the TikTok feed right now, you can go ahead and follow us on Facebook at Cinematic Anarchy. Just look up our Facebook page. We're right there.
Yep.
And of course, if you're a little stalkerish, you can go ahead and just follow us individually. You'll probably find us here or there. You know our names. Doesn't mean that we're going to allow you to follow us. Just, you can try.
Yes. Things.
Things, yes.
Things, words, sounds.
So, this portion of the podcast, we're going to go ahead and skip our pitch storm for the day. And what we're going to do is we're going to open this up to the TikTok folks.
All right.
To allow us to do sort of a question of the day, or a few questions, if you will. We can give some short answers to multiple questions. Right. The first one was
from Zadrius Backup.
Okay.
This is my wife, Max, and she asked, what do we think about McCamey Manor? So, what we know about McCamey Manor is it's a torture fetish, quote-unquote, haunted house.
Okay.
And it's basically a huge fucking slap in the fucking face. It's fucking shameful to the ideas of haunted houses. It's not a haunted house. It's a fucking torture fetish chamber. These people make you sign a 40-page waiver promising, what is it, $20,000? If you can make it through the fucking full 10 hours of torture.
Okay.
And these people, they hire felons with specifically fucking extremely violent crimes and sexual assault crimes under their belts to play as the actors in this fucking quote-unquote haunted house. and people they've come out with broken bones, they've, like, had teeth pulled, they get their heads shaved, they fucking, like, people have been raped at this place, and they're still fucking open.
So, well, that is a definite comment on our current society.
Yeah.
I mean, that a place like this could even exist or get the chance to exist.
And in their fucking waiver, like, it says in their waiver that you could die during one of these fucking tours. And they give you safe phrases. And it doesn't matter if you say this safe phrase, because they'll just keep filming and keep going until they have enough footage.
Because you've signed a waiver.
But that's what the whole idea behind having a safe phrase is. If you have had too much, if you are fucking done, you say the phrase and you get the fuck out. That's how it's supposed to go. But they won't let you get the fuck out unless you are seriously injured or just completely fucked up. I was watching videos of this one woman who was fucking tied up, like, her foot was bleeding like crazy. Like, she had massive gashes in her feet. And, like, they were tied so tightly with tape that, like, fucking her toes were fucking purple. Bleeding out, like, the entire time she's like, no, I can keep going, because she wants the $20,000.
Right.
Like, people are willing to fucking die for 20 grand. Like, that's not fucking worth it. It's not worth going in already traumatized to just get more fucking traumatized for a little bit of fucking money.
So let's be honest with what this place is. Obviously, we know this is not a haunted house. It's a torture fetish house.
Yeah.
There are people that this is right up their alley. I'm not condoning any of what's going on. I'm not condoning the 40-page waiver. I'm not condoning people torturing the living hell out of other human beings, possibly killing them in the name of what they're claiming is a haunted house or a haunted attraction.
It's fucking disgusting.
And let's be honest, if this place is a haunted attraction, it's the haunted souls of the people that got killed during the actual attraction.
Yeah.
But there are people that care so little about their own lives. I lived in an area of the country where people... there was this one woman who... We were driving down, I believe you even saw this, Alex. We were driving down the way one day, and there's this woman that lived in a trailer not too far from us, who, her son ran away. We found her with a bottle of liquor, a bottle of whiskey in one hand, and she had carved the name of her son in her leg. Like, literally deep gashes with her son's name in her leg.
Okay,
bleeding all over the place. That is the type of person that would get into something like this.
Yeah, like, I've had friends, like, sharing articles about McCamey Manor without knowing what they actually do there. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm fucking down, like, this and that, and then I'll send screenshots of what people have said about this place and fucking post videos in the comments of, like, how people come out looking after being in this place. And it's just, like, it's fucking disgusting. Like, they'll force feed you fucking feces and vomit. And fucking, like, they'll pour boxes of spiders on you and shit. Like, they take the things that you say you're not okay with, and they do every single one of them.
Right.
Like...
And I also want to call a little bit of bullshit.
Yeah.
There is no reason that a place like this, irregardless of whether or not you sign a fucking waiver, there is no reason why a place like this should exist. You should not be able to legally create a waiver that says, we may murder you.
Exactly. And hiring felons, that's pretty sure that's going against their fucking probation. Thanks very much.
Yeah. No, that's, I mean, if they are convicted felons, if they are still under probation, that is torturing and
they have...
basically destroying another human being from the ground up is definitely not something they should be partaking in.
Like... I can't fucking imagine.
We will go a little bit more in depth about this next week.
We're gonna be doing an actual full-on rant about this next week.
Not only that, we're gonna we're gonna try to get a hold of as much of that contract as we can. We'll discuss it point by point. So next week's rant is mainly going to be about that.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions that we came across?
Questions? Their waiver literally says they can bury you alive.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's the least that I took away from that. There's some other things in there, like extracting teeth without Novocaine.
Yep.
You know, stuff like that. There's some stuff in there.
Do we have any more questions of the day, people of TikTok? It doesn't specifically have to pertain to McCamey Manor. It can be about anything.
Right, just questions of the day. You can ask us just a ludicrous question, something we can answer. I think the first question we took from TikTok is, if you were a bird, who would you shit on? That was the first question that we answered from TikTok.
I said the Queen.
Yes, I remember that. We had a big discussion about that. I think we had actually all agreed on certain politicians, and then I think the first one we agreed on was Mitch McConnell. And then
Trump, and I said the Queen just because, it's the Queen.
Yeah.
The fuck? Nobody's gonna forget the bird that shit on the Queen.
Who is the most high-profile person you could shit on? That'll be a meme for the rest of my
life.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna give you guys another 60 seconds to send in a question.
Are there any other questions in the comments? Something we can scroll up to, maybe? Maybe people already left questions.
Trying not to leave any dead air.
Well, there's a lot of things that we can talk about in the meantime. If there aren't any other questions, we want to try to be as interactive as humanly possible. Immortalize your questions in video. And in audio, for that matter. So, do you have any questions you'd like to ask us, Alex?
Not at all.
Not even remotely?
Nope.
And those are like the first words you spoke on the podcast today. Just, no.
No.
Leave me alone.
All right. It looks like we're not getting anything else from TikTok right now.
Okay, so we can go right into Tea with Honey.
If we do get more throughout, we'll ask them after the next rant. So,
you want to start with the one that I tried to research, or the one that I got blindsided with when you came here today?
Okay, we're gonna start with the first thing. The first thing that I sent last week. Okay. So, welcome back to Tea Time with Honey, guys. Haha! This week we're talking about how the ALCU of Alabama has just put a block on Alabama's abortion ban. Now, I am convinced that the GOP had this planned the entire fucking time. They put out these ridiculous, out-fucking-rageous abortion laws just so that they would get challenged on a federal level so that they can challenge it again over at the Supreme Court. And now that the majority seat holders at the Supreme Court are white fucking conservative men who desperately want to try to control what those of us who own a uterus do with our bodies, oh my god! This is exactly what they've been trying to do this entire fucking time, is challenge it on a fucking federal level so they can get it sent to the Supreme Court so that they can overturn Roe vs. Wade. That's what they've wanted to do the entire fucking time. And they're fucking getting to it. And just because the ALCU blocked the abortion bans in Alabama does not mean that it's blocked in Ohio, fucking Missouri, Texas, all the rest of the states that put out these bans.
I'm actually surprised that Alabama, of all
places!
States, yeah. I mean, good for Alabama. Don't get me wrong.
Honestly, but no, this is exactly what they wanted to fucking do. They're trying to get Roe versus Wade overturned so that they can control those of us who have a uterus, what we do with our bodies.
I mean, I remember making several incest jokes in regards to that movie that we watched in regards to Alabama. And so I guess I don't hold Alabama in high regards, nor does Omar all that much. However, you stepped your game up as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And I get where they're headed for that. And let's be honest about the blocking of the abortion ban. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that they actually are trying to block it.
No.
I think it is literally a political move to get it brought up to the Supreme Court to try to overturn Roe versus Wade.
Yep, that's exactly what I think it is.
So I don't appreciate smoke and mirrors when it comes to our government to begin with anyway. And I know for a fact... I don't know for a fact. I know in my heart that we as a country have just basically put your average American citizen in a shitty place right now.
Yep.
I was saying this to you just a few moments ago. I personally hold the current state of our government, the responsibility for the current state of our government. I hold everyone responsible.
Oh, absolutely, because we voted these cunts into office.
And it wasn't my vote that did it. It wasn't your vote that did it.
No, absolutely not.
However,
we just fucking got sent back into the fucking 50s. Like, we took 2 steps forward with the Obama era, and then 30 steps back with Trump.
50s, like 30s.
Yeah. Honestly, fucking, on top of this whole, like, ALCU abortion ban bullshit, the White House just recently issued a new rule saying that adoption and foster care agencies can deny placement into LGBTQ homes specifically based off of religious reasons. First of all, the United States is not a fucking theocracy.
Thankfully, that has not been passed yet.
It hasn't been passed.
It is a proposal.
Yet. It's a proposal, but this is exactly what they're fucking trying to do. They want to keep the LGBTQ homes from getting placed. And they want to fucking keep these children in the system and make fucking money off them, which ties into that whole Paul Peterson bullshit, where he was fucking running this Handmaid style fucking baby factory, selling these children.
So
he's accepting money for these fucking children to adopt them out into Christian homes. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, you're actually selling fucking children. You're not going through a legitimate fucking facility. You're stealing babies, and you're fucking selling them. And that's exactly what the fucking these people want to do.
So all 3 issues that you want to discuss this week, they all kind of
tie
together. They all tie together. And they're all, it's just shit hitting the fan. Left and right,
it's one thing after a fucking another, and I swear to God, they keep coming out with these bullshit fucking news stories about fucking celebrities or whatever the fuck to hide our fucking eyes, to fucking to keep us distracted so we don't know what the fuck is going on around us.
Now I'm going to sound like a conspiracy theorist
most of my following on TikTok had no idea about all this shit up until I fucking post about it.
That's a problem too.
Yeah.
And I'm not calling you out here on Facebook, on TikTok, or whatever, but I think it's by design, too. You're presented with so many apps to entertain yourself, to immerse yourself, so you can socialize with your friends, so you can ignore what's going on.
Stay happy, distracted, whatever.
And, it's actually a game that Alex played recently. We Happy Few. That is really makes me feel like this is how our society is going. We're going to cleanse everything. We're only going to let you see what you need to see.
Yeah.
And we're going to distract you with this while this is going on over here. And we want you to eat, drink, entertain yourselves, and be distracted. Because that is the only way you're going to be happy, and the only way that you're going to ignore all the misery going on around you. Watch your movies. Watch your TV. Don't read the news. Don't pay attention to this. It's all bullshit. This is what we want you to see.
Yeah.
Here's our smoke and mirrors. Here's reality. It's up to us. Like I was saying, I'm going to sound a bit like a conspiracy theory, but when it comes down to it,
Shane Dawson.
It starts in school. Schools are underfunded. There's not enough teachers to handle the kids.
Yep.
They're not getting educated on the right things. In all honesty, what we read in textbooks, what we read in our historical textbooks, what we're reading right now,
history is written by those who win the wars. It's not written on accuracy. It's written based off who the fuck won.
Our textbook isn't going to look like the same historical textbook that's being presented in Russia, one in England, one in Japan.
Fucking, I remember growing up, I went to a private middle school, I went to a private high school. They all sucked. Very closed-minded people. Fucking, I remember specifically how they tried to pass off Thanksgiving and how the Pilgrims, were taught how to make turkey and were given corn and all this shit. Like, they had peaceful encounters with the natives, when in reality everything was just a fucking massacre and just bullshit! All bullshit! It's a fucking mask!
Do they teach you about the smallpox blankets?
No, they didn't. They literally did not teach us about. I learned about the smallpox blankets when I got into a public high school, and then.
And you read about it yourself, maybe?
Oh, yeah. God! I was so pissed.
So I'm gonna put Alex on the spot here for a second. God. Oh God!
Oh God!
How much of today's current news is discussed by your teachers in school, in high school?
Well, we don't discuss, like, any of what's going on.
Nothing currently?
No, not at all. We're currently learning about... Forgot the name of it. It's...
What kind of subjects are you talking about right now in high school? This is your freshman year.
I don't remember. Like, I was...
No, I feel you,
I was
like...
in school 2 days ago.
I feel you. You get put on the spot, and then all of a sudden, you don't know anything at all. You've never learned anything in your entire... That happens to me all the time.
I might have something here.
Right.
The agricultural revolution.
Okay.
That's what you're learning about right now.
Yeah.
They're not talking about what's currently going on with our agriculture now. They're talking about the past of agriculture. Okay. Do you have any classes that teach you anything that's going on currently?
No, not at all.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay. So
they're not preparing students for the real world. That's exactly what's happening. They don't want students to have a mind of their own. They want everyone to fucking conform and fall in line. I
remember going... Now, I'm a bit older than the both of you.
Yeah.
I remember going to high school. I remember exactly the same things you're basically learning about right now. So, honestly, I'm about 20 years removed from high school. And the fact that the curriculum has not changed in 20 years, that's depressing.
That's a problem.
The only thing that I really can physically say has changed, and I have one teenager that's already gone through high school, one teenager that's currently going through high school. The only thing that I can physically say that has changed is new math. Which, by the way, what the fuck? All right.
How does one change math?
New math. And mind you, they say that they changed it to make it easier for the children to
It's
understand.
not easier! No. It's not easier at all!
I think
there's like 8 extra steps that you don't need!
I think the one class I was actually failing in when I went to my online school was actually algebra.
Literally, right? If they ever tell you that you're not going to be allowed to use a calculator in real life, you can tell them to shove their phones up their ass, because they do! They let you use the calculators in real life. Everything's a calculator. Everything is calculated.
My class has a fairly low average, so my teacher is like, if you guys need a calculator, you can't use your phones, but you can use the one on the laptop, and we're all like...
Alright, yeah, we can use the internet-connected thing instead of the internet-connected thing.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
I think it's because our AP put in a rule that we can't be using our phones because one kid had a fight with another person, and I'm like...
Cyberbullying.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
The thing is, they started, like, announcing it over the intercom, and it wasn't just cyberbullying. Most of what happened was in real life.
Okay.
So, like, physical...
Nothing that
Did somebody
had to do
just
with
physically
the phone.
take a phone and smash it into somebody's head, or what happened?
I don't know, but we're not allowed...
I mean, I'd take your phone away after that. Well, you're going to use it as a weapon. Yeah, we're going to have to take your phones away.
We're not allowed to use our phones at all during class, and some of our teachers even have those, like, cubby things.
Ugh.
So they'll put them up on their door, and, like, you can either put your phone in the cubby or put it in your bag for the rest of the class, and then you can have it when you get back out into the hallway.
So... Oh, go. Continue.
I was just going to say... The one teacher I've had, which is by far my favorite teacher, she's so sweet. Her name is Miss Wilworth. She's my biology and intervention teacher, which is basically just a second biology. They added that this year. Everyone has a different intervention class. My friend has intervention with her ELA teacher, so it's another ELA. Sorry if I'm talking so low.
It's cool.
It's all right.
You good.
But she is the only teacher who has let me listen to music throughout the entire class.
Good shit.
So I'll just be sitting in my biology class, and I'll just be listening to music while doing tests, while doing normal work. And in my intervention block, she actually lets me watch like Twitch live streams and stuff while I'm working. So it's a pretty fun class.
So this is a test question that I'm going to ask you.
Yeah, go.
All right. Because it's actually good, and I could ask you the same thing, because you're actually very different from how I work with some young kids, honestly, and they say the same things to me all day long. I want to hear it from my own kid here.
What's up?
Do you listen to the news?
I don't, but mostly because...
That was the second question. Why?
The only stuff I really see about the news now is like on Instagram or something, or like those weird story things on Snapchat. But that's really all I've seen from the news lately. because, one, we don't watch news at the house.
Okay.
Which I want to start doing more because I find it a little bit interesting. But we don't learn anything about, like, what's going on in school. And
So you're not taught that reading the newspaper, watching the news is an important thing.
The only time a newspaper ever comes into our house is when you're getting it for Mom's coupons.
Yes. That is true. I actually read the news frequently on my phone, and that's actually an app on your phone that you can pick up anytime. You can go ahead and read the news. You have access to a world of news just on your phone. So, personally, how do you feel about the news?
Depends on what news.
Just in general.
Because I feel like they don't focus on a lot of, like, the really important stuff that's going on. I don't know how I feel about the news.
Okay. I guess what I'm trying to get at is a lot of the kids that I go to work, I actually work with, especially these few that I sit around, they don't pay attention to politics.
Yeah.
I feel like the news should be more important than it is.
It should definitely be more prevalent.
People should, like, pay more attention to it so they know what's going on and, like, how fucked up society is.
Now, you're more politically minded than most kids of your age that I know. Some of the kids that I work with personally, like I was saying, they don't pay attention to politics. When I've asked them, they're of age. Do you vote? No, I don't vote. Why don't you vote? Because it's just not important to me.
Well, okay, so for me, for, like, the 2016 election, I didn't vote. I've still never voted. I'm registering to vote this year, though, because fuck going through what we just went through again. Fucking, I never voted, because this past fucking presidential election showed me that our votes don't fucking matter. The only votes for presidential elections that actually matter is the Electoral College.
Right.
The population doesn't fucking matter. Like, we need to get rid of the fucking Electoral College.
Agreed. Popular vote has swung differently in most elections.
And, like,
show that the popular vote went the other way.
And, like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like Hillary would have been any better than Trump.
No.
No.
Not at all.
Not at all. Like, they were both terrible fucking choices to be given. I would have been happy with Bernie, to be honest. Every one of their grandmothers like, oh, you support socialism? Like, democratic socialism is not the same as actual socialism. Do a little bit of research. Bernie just wants us to be able to live and fucking survive. And he's been fucking portraying the same ideologies since he started getting into politics. How many fucking years ago? When he was when he was in his 20s, teens? Right. Fucking, like, he's been following the same path. He's never strayed. He has always been who he the fucking is right now.
Not a waffler. Not a waffler. A guy that kind of flip-flops depending upon who he's trying to please.
Like, he knows who he is. He knows what's right. He knows, like, what we can do to be better.
Right.
And everyone's just like, oh, fucking, he'd be a terrible president because he's so old. He's probably going to die on the fucking job. This and that, whatever. Like, he'd be a terrible president
that's
because
a wonderful
of socialism.
Reason.
This and that. Like, no. We need universal health care. We need free college. Fucking, at least free community college. Like, the fuck?
Can I just say that a lot of the people that throw around the S word, socialism, I don't think they know what the fuck socialism means.
They don't know what socialism really is. And honestly, like, I'm not a socialist, I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican. God, never ever gonna be a Republican. But, like, I don't fall under any of these labels. But, like, I would stand with a fucking socialist way over a Republican any day.
I think that we have gotten to this point where everything is in desperate need of being labeled. You don't understand it, label it as this.
Yep.
All right. And you fall into an issue. Okay, I'm a Democrat. I'm going to be a Democrat, a lifelong Democrat. I got people that I'm voting Republican. Why are you voting Republican? Because he's Republican.
That's not a good fucking reason.
Why? Because this is the way I voted all of my life. This is the way my father voted. This is the way my father's father voted. I am a Republican.
Why would you blindly follow an ideology if you don't do any research on it? If you don't do any research on other ways of living? How do you know that's for you if you don't research those different paths?
Why would you not take 2 seconds? A lot of people vote Republican, Democrat, whatever. They vote the way that they vote because of the exact thing that I was just talking about. I'm not paying attention to what's going on. I'm not reading the news. I'm not paying attention to the issues. So it is safe for me to say, hey, if I don't understand what's going on, I might as well just vote the same way I've always voted.
Yeah.
Right? I don't believe that you should go out and cast a vote in ignorance. And a lot of people do. A lot of people voted for Trump, people that I knew anyway that voted for Trump, just because he was funny on that one show that one time. I know a couple of people that voted for Trump because he literally was in WrestleMania at one point. The entertainment side of Trump is the reason why some people voted for him.
It's like, disgusting.
I don't recognize his politics. I just knew him from The Apprentice. Yeah. I knew him from this thing that he did over here. And you know what? I get it. You know, a lot of society, their entire viewpoint is based around the entertainment that they watch.
Yeah.
Because they're not watching the news. They're not reading the news. They're not paying attention to any social issue out there. They're basically... They would have voted for fucking David Arquette if David Arquette ran for president, just because, hell, he was Courtney Cox's husband at one point, and I knew him from this movie that he was in and the TV show over here. He was on Friends one time, you know. Okay. That's absolutely fantastic. So you're voting for a person basically on name recognition and his face, not because you believe in the issues that he stands for. You feel like you have something to say here.
I do.
Go ahead, say something, Alex.
So this is about the thing the last time we talked about, the LGBT thing.
Okay.
Those 2 boys who made fun of me during my biology class, pretty much what they were telling me was that they thought I was a girl who just wants a dick. And I'm like, that's not at all what I am. Have you done any research? And they were like, no, I haven't, but I don't need to. I was like, okay, but do you know what it is? And they were like, no, I don't, and I don't care. And I'm like...
So they're basing their judgment on you, basically, off of their opinion and their feelings and not actual facts.
Yeah.
Yep, sounds about right.
By the way, I brought this up to 2 of my teachers because I used to sit next to them in 2 of my classes. So I brought up to my algebra teacher, and all she let me do was move, 1 seat away. And she didn't bring it up to, my guidance counselor, which I probably should do sometime soon, because I have not got around to that. And my biology teacher just made, 2 rows of desks. One of them sits a little bit farther back from me, and the other one sits on the complete opposite row.
Yeah.
So, good thing they're not as close to each other as they were before. Oh, I am talking very low. I am sorry.
Oh, no, that's perfectly fine. You're registering better than you were earlier during the test.
Yeah.
That's good.
Words and things.
Words and things.
But no, that's exactly what we're feeding into. The whole issue that...
Yeah.
The 3 issues that we were talking about. It comes down to, do we pay attention? Are we truly paying attention to what's going on around us?
That's the thing. Fucking, a lot of the people that tune in on my TikTok are just tuning in because I'm spreading awareness about, these small, minor fucking news stories that have pissed me off royally. And, all these people, they don't hear about it until they see it on my page. And then they go do the research about it, and they're like, holy shit, this is fucking happening. And, it's fucking ridiculous, man. I'm not putting it on them that they haven't seen it yet. I'm putting it on, all these social media sites that are just putting out fluff and bullshit and distractions to hide the fact of what's actually going on around us, to hide all of the horrible, fucked up shit that our government is, doing to us.
Right.
this is supposed to be America of the free and home of the brave and bullshit, whatever the fuck. But
It's funny.
yeah, right? It's fucking funny. It's hilarious. These bitches ain't brave. These bitches ain't fucking free.
So, I mean,
Freedom
How-
only goes so fucking far.
how hilarious is it that... And I'm not talking hilarious in a good way. I'm talking I'm laughing and crying on the inside.
Yeah.
That this gentleman, he has been found to be bringing immigrants to this country specifically to birth children for him to be able to sell to adoptive families.
Loose term, gentlemen.
When part of one of the conspiracy theories on Trump's original campaign was that whole pizza shop thing that Hillary Clinton was accused of.
Yep.
The one that actually forced a mentally deranged gentleman to invade a pizza shop and start shooting the place up.
Yep. Fucking... like...
I don't even know. I've got a lot going on in my head now just because of
Just
things
thinking about
and
this.
words.
And, like, I know there's nothing that I can personally do right this second to fucking fight this. But I know
wrong.
that we're coming towards a civil war. I know that we're fucking, like... You can't fucking deny it. People are outraged. People are furious. People are losing their rights. And the Trump administration is doing everything in their fucking power to come up with the most ridiculous bullshit to hide, to fucking distract us until this whole impeachment bullshit goes away. That's what he's hoping for.
So here's my thought, my challenge to our public. The few people that listen to us on TikTok, the few people that listen to us on Facebook. I don't even want to say a challenge, but the thing that I want to say is where is our Martin Luther Kings right now?
Yeah.
The folks that step
Greta
up,
Thunberg.
that basically put their lives on the line for the right. Not put their lives, and I'm not saying anything against our military, but not the folks that get thrown in the line of fire to defend our oil interests. I'm talking about, I get that we go on our marches, but what did those marches really and truly do? We organized, and then we let it go.
Got fucking pepper spray.
And people forgot. People are forgetting.
Yeah.
Okay? The 1%, that one whole 1% movement that happened for a while, you know, we organized, and then it slowly devolved, and then the only people that were really protesting were college kids that had just a little bit too much time on their hands.
Yeah, like I had a lot of friends who were part of the Occupy Boston.
Right.
And fucking, like, that was a pretty decent turnout.
But let me just say this. It is not a one and done.
No, exactly. You gotta keep fucking doing it. You gotta keep pushing. You gotta keep fucking fighting back. You gotta keep sending in letters and calling in and fucking... You gotta keep going to fucking city hall meetings and shit like that. You have to keep pushing until they fucking give way.
Martin Luther King's entire life was about fighting to change things. Yeah. He made an entire life out of fighting to change things for his people. And that is what we have to do right now. We have to stop fucking burying ourselves in our phones, stop burying our heads in our asses when it comes to the shit that's going on around us. You know what? You cannot be a young person in this society and take a choice to just be ignorant.
Exactly.
You can definitely make that choice to be ignorant, but you're not doing anything to change. You can't complain and then do nothing about it.
Yeah.
So you want to change society for the better? Go out and fucking do something and make a choice to make a life out of wanting to change what is going on.
I've got people who are like telling me that I should run for office and shit, and I'm just like, okay, first of all, with my fucking vocabulary, I probably would get kicked out in the first 10 minutes.
Nah. No, I don't think so. I think that you would be a breath of fucking fresh air. Because
I also don't think they'd allow someone with my whole body covered in fucking ink.
Why?
To run. Because they want us to look presentable.
Okay, first of all, fuck that.
Yeah, right?
What is presentable?
I would waste a lot of makeup trying to cover up these tattoos.
What is fucking presentable? We
Clean
have to look...
skin, nice little button-down suit and whatever the fuck. And...
That is by fucking design.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to fit into a box. You have to fit here. You cannot be this person because you do not fit into our box.
That's exactly
First
what
of all,
it is.
fuck that bullshit. All right, sorry. You know, I don't. You don't have to look like the fucking button up, wearing a fucking tie, noose, whatever you want to call it. You don't have to go out and buy yourself a 3-piece fucking suit or a pantsuit or whatever the fuck you have to do to be part of this upper level here.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. The folks that look like that, the ones that are running things right now, are not doing a fucking good job.
No, they're
They're
not.
doing what they need to do nothing for anybody but themselves. Okay, all you people that are fucking working to make the guy up here even richer, you're not helping them and yourself, you're helping them.
Yeah.
Fine, fuck it. You don't have to look like what they want you to. You don't have to fit in that box. Okay? You honestly, like I said, it doesn't matter what you look like.
Yeah.
That's not a stereotype. That is discrimination. That is a discrimination that just needs to stop. Okay, you can't serve food to the public because you've got tattoos. You can't serve food to the public because you got a fucking piercing. You can't do this. You can't be the face of this company. You cannot be a person that sits here that gets to be seen by the general public because you look a certain way. Does that make me a bad human being the way that I look? Doesn't make you a bad human being the way that you look.
Apparently.
That's
But
judging
no, it
a person by the way they look.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it doesn't make you a terrible fucking person.
Black, white...
Just like going to church doesn't make you a good person.
Right. Black, white, Asian, fat, short, tall, small, lesbian, gay, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't judge a person by what they look like, by what...
Judge them by their morals. If they've got shitty morals, bury them.
And who perpetuates that particular myth that you have to judge a person by that first initial...
Fucking social media.
Judge a book by its cover.
Fucking
No,
social media.
It's not necessarily social media.
Oh, social media plays
It is
good
a
hand in it.
religious standpoint.
That too. That's mostly the religious thing.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying all religious people are fucking nuts. Okay, there are some truly good religious people out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, again,
But
we'll bring up Martin Luther King because that's the first thing that pops into my head.
I'm pretty sure we already talked about this, but like, fucking, I was reading one of my old pastor's posts who was asking, you know, his public following how they feel about Christians and Halloween. And, yeah, because, like, Halloween is, you know...
Trunk or treat, you remember all that?
Worshipping the dead in their eyes
at
and fucking
church?
this and that. And it's like Satan worshipping in their eyes. And fucking...
Just
One person actually compared Halloween to 9/11 and how fucking these, like, the Middle East celebrated it when it fucking, like, when the towers came down. And how evil people celebrate Halloween because they're evil. Like, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck is that shit? Like...
I'm just curious.
It took so much in me not to fucking cuss out every single one of these
likening
dumbass pieces of shit.
Halloween to terrorism?
Halloween and Christmas. Halloween is just as Christian as Christmas.
Actually...
They're both pagan holidays.
Yeah, I was going to say, right. Almost all Christian holidays are derived from pagan holidays. They were basically created to assimilate.
Okay, so Christmas originally was the celebration of the winter solstice,
Right.
Yuletide. Halloween was honoring the dead, honoring those who have passed on into the other realm. Fucking, that was a Gaelic holiday,
Right.
originally. And then fucking everybody and their grandmother comes in, mostly fucking Christians, and steals holidays and fucking does all this bullshit, and they're like, oh, this is now originally a Christian holiday. Like, no the fuck it's not. It was never originally Christian. Get your fucking head out of your ass.
I think from what I was reading, and actually I believe my wife has read up a little bit more on this than I personally have. She's pagan herself.
Yeah.
A lot of these holidays were stolen, basically, by the Roman Catholics.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
They were created to sort of assimilate pagans into the Christian society. Like, hey, look, we're not telling you guys that we don't want you here. What we want to do is we're going to take your holiday and we're going to create our holiday based off of your holiday so you feel that we're being accepting of you.
Yeah.
And we're going to bring you into our fold.
But in
Here's
reality,
your holiday.
they're just trying to get everyone else to conform to their religion, which is bullshit!
Exactly.
He's trying to celebrate fucking Jesus' birthday on fucking Christmas. He wasn't even born in December. He was born in fucking, like, July or some shit. He was born in the summer.
Again, it's about
That's
putting
saying
people...
if Jesus was actually a real fucking person.
It's about putting people in a box.
It's exactly what it is.
I believe, actually, they have scientifically proven that Jesus was a person. They haven't physically proven God yet, but I believe they have proven Jesus to be a physical person.
He could have been a physical person, but also remember that everyone back then was smoking opium. Those miracles are bullshit and can be scientifically proven. They're not miracles.
Can I ask you a question?
Okay.
If you took David Copperfield and you put him back about 2,000 years ago when Jesus existed...
Exactly.
Those sleight of hand things that he's doing now... How amazing would that have been to people back then?
Exactly.
Sleight of hand, smoke and mirrors.
Smoke and mirrors, man.
Jesus could have just been a very accomplished, ahead of his time magician.
He could have been. He could very well have been. Like, he spread good news. He's fucking spread a decent ideology behind, just being a good Samaritan. But...
the people that continue to spread his message are not necessarily...
There is no God.
Cheeky human being. But, okay. We have a little article here that Alex has provided us. A little bit of silence here. My apologies. Let's see. What is this here? What are you giving me?
Things the Bible is against, which includes...
tattoos and piercings.
Women speaking in church.
Yep.
Okay, hold on. We got a list of 13 things that I guess the church... Okay, well...
25.
Well, I've got 13 here.
Yeah.
The list goes on.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's start at number 1. We'll move our way up.
Okay.
Well, number 1 is a few pages back.
Except Walmart is...
Walmart, go away.
Well, this is one of those things. They're giving you a list of things, and Walmart is trying to... It's one of those sites that you go to for a particular article, and they're like, if you scroll all the way down, we're gonna fuck with your phone.
Yep.
So
you can't wear clothes made from 2 different fabrics.
It starts at 25 and then it goes down.
Okay.
So
let's see. We got 25, which is consulting psychics. Number 24, women wearing sexy clothing.
Yep.
Well, they like
you gotta be
people to be conservative. Number 23, masturbation. Number 22, watching porn, which actually goes very much with number 23
here.
Number 21, wearing bling.
Jewelry of any kind, unless it's a cross.
Yes. Okay, we're going to go on to the next page here. And number 20 is eating bacon or pork in general. Number 19, tearing your clothing. Number 18, eating weird little animals. That's interesting.
I mean...
Leviticus 11:28-29 reads, there also shall be unclean unto you among the creepy things that creep upon the earth, this weasel and the mouse and the tortoise after his kind, and the ferret and the chameleon and the lizard and the snail and the mole.
I know people who have eaten all of those.
Yes, we eat everything now.
A little bit.
I'm not saying that's a great thing.
I'm not judging people.
I mean, I don't think I know actually know anyone who's eaten a weasel, but
Number 17, getting tattooed.
Yeah, no.
Again, there's the box.
There's the fucking box. No, so like when I was in middle school, one of my teachers went around the room asking us, what we wanted to be when we grew up. And little fucking 7th grade me was like, I want to be a tattoo artist. And this asshole actually pulled out the fucking Bible and pulled out the verses where it says you shouldn't, like, you're going to hell if you tattoo or pierce your body or whatever the fuck. And I'm just like, listen, buddy, it's a decent fucking job. And if you're gonna sit here and try to undermine what I want to be when I grow up, you can go fuck yourself!
I've already run 3 piercings by my mom that I plan to get, and they're all on my face. I might get an eyebrow piercing, the
brea?
Yeah, that. But I'm thinking about the vertical one.
Vertical La Brea?
Yeah, it sounds so cool.
Is that the one that goes through your lip?
Yeah.
My brother had that.
So it has no contact with the inside of your mouth.
Yeah.
So
it won't fuck up your teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my mom is actually considering letting me get the septum piercing.
You look really cute with a septum.
Okay. I'm the one that's against it. And it has nothing to do
For the longest
with...
time I wanted dimple piercings,
Yeah.
but I knew that was just gonna fuck up my face after I took them out.
The two biggest reasons why my mom didn't want me to get a septum in the first place is, one, because she thinks I'd have a harder time sneezing, which I understand. It's something like right in your
Lean in,
nose.
speak up, son.
Oh, sorry. My mom thinks that if I get a septum, I'll have a harder time sneezing and being
No,
able
not
to wipe
really.
my nose. And I'm like, I mean, I could understand why, because there's like a thing in your nose, but I feel like it wouldn't be that hard. And the next thing is because she keeps telling me I'll look like a bull. And I'm like,
Moo, bitch!
I mean,
Ooh, bitch, get out
that's
the way.
just something
No,
I'll have
sorry.
to get used to. What if I want to look like a bull?
Bulls can be cute.
Bulls
All
are-
right, so we still have 16 things here.
Okay, 16 things.
We're going to move on. Number 16, getting remarried after getting divorced. So apparently if you get divorced, you're supposed to be lonely for the rest of your life.
Same.
Hold on. Okay, so we
Okay,
just
go
got a
ahead.
comment on TikTok.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with tattoos as long as it's not for the dead. Tell me what you mean by that, because tattooing something on your body for a close friend or a family member, a loved one in general who has passed on.
Yes, that's actually the
That's-
saying that's here. It says, "Ye shall not make cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print marks upon you. I
Yeah.
am the Lord."
Yeah, fuck that shit. fuck that shit. I'm gonna print a fucking memorial on my leg if I want to.
Does it really
Which
say-
I did. Boom.
Does it really say I am the Lord?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what it says here anyway.
Hey, you can't get tattoos of dead people. You wanna know why? I'm God.
So, so here you go. The religious zealots that go ahead and tattoo Jesus on their back on the cross.
Exactly. What the fuck is that shit?
You
Died.
You
came
condemned
back,
yourself.
Died again.
Literally condemning yourself in the name of Jesus doing that.
Honestly.
Well, we're waiting for an answer from this guy. So we have, okay, we have that. We have the one where you cannot get remarried after having been divorced. Gossiping. You are not allowed to gossip.
Maybe that's why my mother never got remarried.
It's entirely possible.
It's entirely possible.
Pigging out every now and then. So gluttony, obviously one of the 7 deadly sins. Women speaking in church, which we were just talking about. Number 12, being gay and stuff.
Being gay and stuff. That's...
Thou shalt not lie with mankind, as with womankind. It is abomination.
Let me... Hold the fucking up. Hold the fucking up. Hold the fuck up. Hold the fucking phone. Okay, so... First of all, the Bible is extremely diluted, and it has been extremely diluted for hundreds and thousands of years. Okay? That original phrase was man shall not lie with mankind as he does with womankind. It's man shall not lie with boy, as in don't be a fucking pedophile. Ugh!
You can just hear like the quiet clap.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I had to...
Number 11. Number 11 is playing American football.
What the fuck?
Leviticus 11:7-8 reads, "And the pig, because it parts the hoof and is cloven-footed, but does not chew the cud, is unclean to you. You shall not eat any of their flesh, and you shall not touch their carcasses. They are unclean to you."
Pigskin footballs.
Pigskin football. So playing American football means you're going to hell.
That's
Sorry, Tom Brady.
hilarious.
So, there you go. That's one of them.
I mean, I'm sure Tom Brady's going to hell for a lot of other things than playing football.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Like,
It knocked me out again.
most of us.
Oh my gosh.
So apparently we can't get past number 11. Once we try to get to number 11, it kicks you out and says, "Congratulations, you've just won a $250 Walmart card." You can't see number 10 through 1 without
Oh my god.
basically committing to massive
Religion
acts of
is a
viruses.
fucking cult. All of them.
But that just gives you an idea.
Pig flesh. I ate pig flesh this morning.
So did I. A little bit of bacon with my eggs. I didn't touch it, though. It was inside of a wrap.
I cooked some bacon into my omelet.
Oh, here we go. Number 10.
Woo!
Premarital sex.
Of course.
Well, yeah, I'm going to hell. Anyway, wearing polyester or any other fabric blends.
Yeah. More than 2 types of fabric in your clothes, unacceptable. Which is bullshit!
Pulling out is considered a sin.
Yep.
Yeah. That's very interesting. Which I guess goes along with
premarital sex.
Well, not premarital sex necessarily, but the masturbation thing. I think the whole problem with that is the waste of
children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eating assorted seafoods, different seafoods.
They're considered unclean animals.
Working on Saturday.
Yep.
Well, I can get behind that one.
I can too. Hey man, I mean I already don't work on Saturdays, so
you're working on Sunday. That's against.
That is.
That's against
Sabbath.
If I get a job and my boss makes me work on a Saturday, I'm gonna be like, hey, no.
God says I can't.
Wives helping out their husbands in a fight.
Yep.
Well, women aren't allowed to do much of anything anyway.
Exactly. Handmaid's Tale bullshit!
Round haircuts.
Oof, I had a bowl cut.
Everyone with a bowl cut ever.
I used to have a bowl cut.
Oh no.
There's a lot of this. Too. A lot of this is in fucking Leviticus.
Yeah.
Leviticus 19:27 reads, "You shalt not round off the side growth of your heads." Sure.
Oof.
The Beatles are going to hell. Trimming your beard.
Yep.
I'm going to hell for a lot of reasons.
Yep. Apparently.
I have condemned myself. Divorcing your lying, cheating partner.
It's illegal in the Bible, apparently, to divorce your lying, cheating partner. If you know, it's the woman trying to divorce the man.
And lastly, but not apparently leastly, eating cheeseburgers. It shall be a perpetual
Aren't cattle, like,
statute.
Considered holy?
Milk.
I don't think it's our religion.
No, it's not.
I think it's the Quran. Is it?
Probably. I honestly
I
would
sure.
not know off the top of my head right this second.
We don't hold or revere cows in much of any manner.
Yeah.
So saith our pastures, not our pastors.
But yeah, no, like this is all like a whole bunch of fucking religious cult bullshit. Christianity's a cult.
I put that away. Walmart keeps bothering me.
I hate you, Walmart. Go away. I don't even
But,
go to the store.
Yeah, that was like sidetracked from what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
The thing is that when you bring up during your rants, just kind of we go all over the place. There's so much to talk about.
There's so much shit, man.
There is a website I've got to find that I'd like to actually discuss during one of our podcasts. There is literally a site. It's Hinduism. Sorry,
Hindu.
my apologies.
There we
Hinduism that reviews
I didn't
cows.
want to even try to guess which religion it was because I don't want to sound like an idiot. But
I will find the site. There is a site that since the day that he who shall not be named but still has orange Cheeto dust from head to toe. That motherfucker right there. He has a website dedicated to all of the shit he's been doing since day one.
Yeah.
I think it's like what happened today or whatever, and it's just a list of all of the lies and the things that he's done since day one. Because here's the problem with our current presidency is the fact that there's been so much shit that has hit the fan since he started as president that a lot of the stuff that he's done has been forgotten.
Yeah, it has. Cause
how do you put out one fire, start another fire?
That's the thing. He's a fucking oil can.
Soon you can't tell where the fire began.
Exactly. Fucking, I completely forget what I was about to say. Oh my god.
Oil can. He's gas on the fire, basically.
Yeah, dude. Fucking, like...
Billy Joel could sing a whole new song about him.
People, that's the thing though, like, people forget about the shit that he's done at the very beginning of his presidency because shit just keeps getting fucking worse progressively. Every week there's some new fucked up shit that him or his administration is trying to pull to fucking distract us from what's really fucking happening. Like, they want us to see all this fucked up shit so that we don't see the even more fucked up shit that's happening behind closed doors.
And
he was part of Epstein's fucking child sex cult.
The fucked up part about the whole thing is
Epstein didn't kill himself.
a lot of people think that that's bullshit. Yeah, I don't think he killed himself.
Oh no, that's like, it's been proven. Fucking
I don't think Hernandez killed himself either.
Brother, I think it was, hired another fucking person to check out the body, and this guy confirmed that the fractures on Epstein's neck were more consistent with murder than suicide.
I don't think that Hernandez killed himself either.
No, absolutely not.
That being neither here nor currently there, we can thank, and you can cringe when I say these words, the first couple anyway, we can thank Trump for one thing. One thing. You know how we're seeing all this shit hitting the fan right now? He has been at least transparent in that manner.
Yeah.
That he has decided, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to put all my shit out in the open. He is blatantly doing this stuff right in front of us.
That's the
Whereas,
thing, though. Like,
well, think about it. How many people have been caught doing the stupid stuff they've been doing for years upon years?
That's the thing, though.
During his administration,
he's abusing his power so that he can rub it in our faces. That he can be like, "Ha ha, you can't fucking touch me. Look at what I'm fucking doing."
That's the thing, though. It's that he's
outing himself, but he's not getting fucking punished for it. That's the problem.
It's up to us.
That's exactly what it is. It's up to us, but he has people who are in the Senate, who are in the fucking House, who are in Congress and the Supreme Court, who are behind him, who are backing him up on everything he does, no matter how fucked up it is. And even though we've had a decent, like, handful of people who have backed out and been like, I can't do this anymore, you still have the countless other people who are still supporting him, who are still behind him on all this fucked up bullshit that he's pulling.
And a lot of these people are behind him because of no other reason than I'm Republican.
That's it. That's all it is. I'm Republican, I'm rich,
I
can make you happy because you're rich too and I can protect you.
The fucked up thing is they're not all rich.
That's the thing.
Some of the people that are most heavily affected by the shit that he pulls are poor as dirt.
Exactly. It's fucking middle and working class.
I love the uneducated.
Of course
he
you fucking
legitimately
do, because
said
you
that.
can fucking manipulate them. I hate this fucking country sometimes. I will say it until the day I die. Yes, I fucking hate the States. Yes, I wish I could move out. And no, I can't move out. I would if I could.
It is a lot of stress that I ask. Oh, you were going to say.
This is the reason and why I'm going to ask a few of my friends when I'm older if they would like to move to Canada with me.
Honestly, like, fucking, I've had...
Oh, Canada!
I can't tell you how many fucking people I've had straight up be like, oh, if you hate the United States so much, just move the fuck out. Like, buddy, if I could, I fucking would. That's why I don't want to run for any kind of office position.
You know what?
I'm on my podcast saying how much I hate the United States.
I don't hate the United States. I don't necessarily hate the United States. This is a...
I hate the people that run the United States. That's what I fucking hate.
I hate people.
I hate the place that we as a society have allowed it to become. We are not the best country in the world.
No, absolutely not.
We actually fall way under the radar in many, many different places where we definitely should not. We have not, as a country, stood up for our own rights in a long time. We hold superficial marches. We hold rallies. We hold very few people accountable for their own actions. It's coming to a head, and it's going to be either we just give them complete control and say fuck it, we're just going to let them do what they want to do, or we fucking take the control back.
No.
we become a country for the people, by the people, or we let the fucking corporations and the assholes and the corrupt few control our damn country.
Exactly.
We can do that. We can just let them have control. We can sit here and say, you know what, fuck it. I want to go watch whatever movie I watch today. I'm going to go watch fucking Special Unit, and I'm going to ignore all the shit raining down around my head. I'm going to ignore the fact that they're stripping me of every fucking right that I deserve to have as a goddamn human being. Yep. And you know what I'm going to do about it? Nothing. I'm going to go on Facebook and say, goddamn, this sucks.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we can do right now. That's fucking, like...
That's not all we can do.
No, it's not
That is all we are doing.
You're right, I'm wrong. Fucking, like, that's not all we can do. But there's really not much we can do right this second. That's the problem. Fucking, like, we can rise up, we can fight back, but we don't have the military. The government does. We've got Antifa, but now in Massachusetts, it's illegal to wear a fucking mask.
How much of the military... I understand that they have the ability to court-martial, so on and so forth, but how much of the military do you truly think would stand on the side of our government currently if it came down to...
Most of them.
Firing on the average American citizen? Do you think that our military would do the same thing that, say... the Chinese have done in Tiananmen Square?
Absolutely. Honestly, I think the military would try and fucking... what's the fucking words I'm looking for?
I have no idea. I'm not in your head. I wish I could help you sort it out, but...
Oh my god, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Do you think that they would suppress protesters in much the same way that they do in other countries, in communist countries?
I do. Honestly, I do. I think that the military, because of their training, they would follow their orders despite how fucked up they are. The military has shot children. The military has fucking murdered whole villages and fucking towns.
In other countries.
In other countries. In their own country, I believe they'd still do the same thing if they were ordered to.
Fair enough.
Unless it was, like, their own family, then they'd, turn around and be like, no, fuck you. But, like, other people who aren't directly related to them, people who aren't fucking... like, friends or whatever, like, who they don't know, yeah, I think they would fire upon them. I think that they would do whatever they're told to do in order to keep the rest of the country in line. To, like, we're slowly turning into Gilead. That's the issue. And I know you don't know the reference I'm bringing to the table.
Yep, you saw the vacant look in my eyes.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Handmaid's Tale.
Okay.
Basically what happened in The Handmaid's Tale is they used the military against the masses, bombed everyone, or put them in fucking, like, enslaved them, and came out with this whole fucking biblical style new country and turned the United States into Gilead. And United States refugees either went to Canada or wherever the fuck, and, like, they have to go through this whole fucking process of running the fuck away and getting the fuck out, just like people from Mexico do, trying to run away from this horrible shit that's going on around them, from fucking war and famine and fucking disease and all this shit. Like, they're trying to run away from this fucked up shit and get somewhere safer. And the entire time, the military of Gilead has to bring them back, and they get replaced as handmaids, or they get sent to the farm, which is this fucking nuclear wasteland. Like, it's fucked up, dude. Like, you really need to watch The Handmaid's Tale.
Okay. Well, you're convincing me a little bit more. I don't know a whole lot.
Like, this is exactly what we're heading towards.
My only deterrent to watching The Handmaid's Tale is actually Alexis Bledel. And I'm hoping maybe she's done a... She hasn't done a whole lot, in my eyes, personally, to separate herself from the role that she played in the Gilmore Girls. Yeah. So a lot of the roles that I've seen her in...
No, she did really good. Like, okay, so, like, it's illegal in Gilead to be homosexual. So, I'm pretty sure it was...
So positives with the negatives.
I'm pretty sure it was this girl from fucking... fucking Gilmore Girls.
Okay.
I never knew her name before. I never fucking paid attention to that shit. But she is gay, and she gets caught with another woman, and they cut off her happy button.
It's illegal.
Yeah, illegal.
Okay, I thought you said legal.
No,
I'm talking about it being a positive, and I'm like,
no, it's
wait
illegal in Gilead to be homosexual, so they cut off her happy button.
Okay, genital mutilation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she does finally escape and get to Canada, and it's all 50 Shades of fucked up! But it's
At least
not
they didn't
wrong
name it that. 50 Shades of fucked up, you know.
Honestly.
All right. So yeah, you're convincing me that I need to go ahead and watch this.
Yep. They've got, like, commanders and who are just fucking political men who are in power and fucking, like, all the men are just fucking free to do whatever the fuck they want, and the women are their slaves. That's how it is. Fucking, and then certain women are handmaids, and the other certain women who are married to the commanders are kind of, like, higher class, but they still fall far underneath any man. Like, women aren't allowed to read.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sounds like certain countries that we've will remain unnamed. And
one of the main commander's wives, you know, she finally starts trying to see things one of the handmaid's way, and she brings up an issue and opens a Bible in front of a council of men, and she gets her fucking finger cut off for reading the Bible. Yep.
Well. Okay, so this is a dystopian society, but it sounds like where we're heading
modern,
to.
And it's happening right now. That's the thing. It's modern. It's modern fucking day. It's happening right now, and this is exactly what we're leading towards.
Our country is sort of a kind of shut up, stay in your box, work your 9-to-5 job day in and day out, and don't buck the status quo. Don't really try to break out of your little box.
Exactly.
And if you try to break out of your little box, we're going to do you a favor and just slap you right back into place. And we don't have enough legitimate protesters. People that literally will dedicate themselves to trying to make a change.
Adulterers and homosexuals get hung on the wall. So like there's this giant stone wall where people can like go for a walk by.
Why are we putting adulterers in the same thing as homosexuals though? Why?
Anyone who commits like a sin worthy of death, which, you know, in their eyes that is. Like, anyone who sins, basically, if it's bad enough that they get hung on the fucking wall. And everyone who lives in Gilead gets to go for their little strolls or whatever. Women...
By these people hung on a wall?
By these people hung on a wall as an example. These people are an example to not do that thing, to not be homosexual, to not be a cheater, to not fucking do this or that or whatever. Don't read, don't play instruments, don't do this, don't do that. Like, these people are just an example.
Music.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't remember if the music thing was an actual thing. I'm just throwing out just random fucked up shit that, like, people get killed for.
Somebody hang Lisa Simpson on the wall. That saxophone's awful. Sorry. All right. Well, I think we're kind of winding down out of the...
Getting close? Yeah,
we got way off subject and way into subject and... Almost everything that we talk about lately with this rant, it all just boils down to a disapproval of our current state and society and the need for people to basically unbury their heads from their collective asses and see the world for what it's currently turning into.
Yeah.
So whether you're Republican, Democrat, if you're a socialist, if you're a communist, whatever the hell you happen to believe, do yourself a favor and reassess your values based off of what your actual values are and who stands behind them.
Yeah.
Do these people legitimately stand behind your values, or are they genuinely just flapping their jaw to make you feel comfortable? Does this person believe? And you can tell a person that believes what you believe in, a person that's going to stand up for your values based, I hate to say it, off their past.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to judge a book by their cover, but you can certainly judge some people by their past actions. Some people can change, most people can't.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to politicians, most of them can't.
Most of them don't want to.
No, and well, they want to put on an air of change. There are people that they invest lots of money in their campaigns, and other people invest lots of money in their campaigns, and their views are based off of those people that invest money in their campaigns.
I honestly believe that all of these boomer politicians are keyword boomers.
Yes.
Just want to keep us in the past. That's the thing. They're not looking forward to progression. They're not looking forward to change or any kind of progressive fucking whatever.
I don't need my life to be run by a 70-year-old guy who is more comfortable back in his pig-headed racist fucking 50s.
Exactly.
I was more
would rather
comfortable
have
when
more
people were
politicians like
enslaved.
AOC.
I was more comfortable when society was segregated and nobody talked about their sexual proclivities.
Yep.
That's when I was more comfortable. Fuck your how you feel comfortable.
I want to see more politicians like AOC. I want to see more politicians willing to call out the big name companies and Facebook and Big Pharma for their fucked up bullshit. And I want people to fucking...
Let's not, mince words here. AOC, she's putting her life on the line talking like she's talking.
She is, and she's doing a great fucking job. Like, she's calling out these big names. She's fucking bringing into the light all the fucked up shit that they've done and that they're still doing, and that the fucked up shit that they're supporting and the fucked up politicians that they're supporting. And she's just fucking calling everybody out, and she has no fucking issue calling people out, and that's what's dangerous. That's what's gonna get her fucking killed. People,
right.
Like police officers and other people in law enforcement have already said, this bitch needs a bullet. Fucking, like, they've already put out fucking death threats on this woman, and all she's doing is just showing us that we're getting fucking played.
Well, with that said, and we're going to save some more for next week's rant, and I believe we've run a little long today anyway. Hey, I'm more than willing to pitch a few of our other things aside. Hey, how are you? We got Mr. Alex over here too.
Hi.
Don't want to forget him. Let's make sure that we keep doing this.
Absolutely.
Because there's more things that need to be discussed and more things that we need to mince. And hell, if you are local to us, we are living in the upper northeast corner of Massachusetts. If you are local to us and would love to come on the podcast sometime,
actually,
we're looking for guests.
I might see about having When Fandom Strikes and that gray gentleman come up. Because When Fandom Strikes wants to get a tattoo from me. They're both big names on TikTok.
There we go. But, seriously, we're looking to have some people on. We'd love to have guests. Hell, if it comes down to it, we can do what we did with you a couple of weeks back, and we can bring you up on the phone. We can sit you right next to our microphone, and we can remote you in via phone. And all you got to do is pick up a phone. Find us over on Facebook. You can leave a message underneath the video, or if you want to email us directly, go to cinematicanarchy@gmail.com. Tell us you'd like to be part of the podcast. Provide us with a little bit of information so we can get in contact with you. And if we like what you got to say, hell, you know what? Even if we don't like what you've got to say, a little bit of controversy never hurt anybody.
Exactly.
Everybody should be able to express their own opinions, except for those who want to just fucking indiscriminately hate without a brain in their heads. I don't want to hear about that. You can you can keep your opinions to yourself.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So like I said, find us on Facebook, Twitter. Mostly everything's under Cinematic Anarchy. I think Twitter, it kind of screwed up the name, and it has a Cinematic Anarch 1. So it took the Anarchy, the Y at the end, and just put a 1 in its place. But whatever.
Okay, then.
Yeah. And like I said, email us at Gmail, cinematicanarchy@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. We'd like some guests. Anybody that's politically minded, socially minded, somebody that likes to talk a blue streak about their own opinions. I am even open to listening to conspiracy theories. If you've got something... Right. If you've got something legitimate that sounds like we're not paying that much attention, go ahead. Throw some conspiracy theories at us. We'll listen to it. I don't have any problems with that.
Yeah.
As long as you're not an ignorantly hateful son of a bitch, I'm willing to fucking listen to you. I'm good. Right?
Fuck yeah.
I'm not looking directly at the camera because
That's fine.
I don't make eye contact with camera very well. And managed to milk that for another 3 minutes, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, TikTok, Facebook, Alex.
I'll be right back, guys.
Thank you all for listening. I'm going to actually shut everything down. So
Okay.
if you want to pass me our Facebook constituency over there, we can go ahead and shut that down and have a wonderful night podcast.
There we go.